The last time I was here in Baltimore was a couple years ago, 2019, for the 30th anniversary of the Why Not, which was incredible. Had a great time.
And how does it feel to be back with a team that's so much different?
As far as the team that's playing now,
Yeah.
well, I really haven't seen them play that much. I mean, except from seeing them on TV. You know what? I always try to stay positive about everything, and when I think of Baltimore, I think of the fun that I had here, and the sellout crowds every day, and just the atmosphere of what always went on, even what went on in Memorial Stadium. So when I think of Baltimore, that's all I think about. But I still watch the games. I wish they were doing good. Don't get me wrong. I always wish the best for them. Yes.
I want to follow up on that part. When you first got here in '89, they were coming off a historically bad season,
Uh-huh.
and the fans really came out then. And then in '91 with end of Memorial, '92 to '95 or '6 or whatever with Camden Yards, and obviously the crowds were here. You almost your entire career in Baltimore, you played in front of really raucous crowds. That's not the case now, and the attendance is down, whether it's pandemic or whatever. But we keep being told that when this team wins again, the fans will be supportive. It'll be out here. What do you think about that?
It's funny you say that because I've thought about that. When I got here in '89 at Memorial Stadium, and they're averaging, 35, 36,000 a game, and I remember that, because when I was young, when I think about big league baseball, I knew the Dodgers averaged like almost 40,000. And I got drafted by Dodgers. And then I come here, and these guys are doing the same thing. I'm like, wow. And then Camden Yards. And then when, the times I've been here in the past few years, and I see that the crowd is not here, it doesn't even look the same. And I don't know. I mean, I guess, when I came here, and like I kind of mentioned before, there's a lot of, you still had Brooks Robinson around. You still had, Boog Powell and all these big leaguers that hung around the ballpark that people liked to see, and the coaches were big league players, and I don't know. I don't know. It's sad that it's turned that way, and I hope it turns around to where the fans start coming back. And yes, it's always good to win, but then again, it's impossible to win every year. So with that said, you want people in the stands because we weren't necessarily winning every year, and we still had fans in the stands.
What did your time with this organization mean to you as a player?
Well, when I first came to Baltimore, I didn't know much about it, and I'm going all the way to the East Coast, come from Wyoming, and I just fell in love with the city. I really did, and every time I come back, it just brings back great memories, and the fact that they threw us a parade when we didn't win, was crazy, and every time I come back, I guess it's because there's so many fans that saw our team play. Everybody remembers, and it's always, people are happy, and everybody wants to talk. So I enjoy that.
Mike, when a player has a successful career as you had, oftentimes there's a teammate, a manager, a coach who's all supportive and very helpful behind the scenes that helps that guy a lot. In Baltimore, who fit that bill for you?
Tom McCraw and Kurt Moten. Those guys, I mean, Kurt Moten was like, one of my best friends. It was just a joy to come to the park and have him teach you. And McCraw, I mean, and I guess where the game's changed today, Tom McCraw's a big league hitter. And the things that he taught me, I knew he had gone through, and he understands, like how to get out of a slump and how to do certain things. And I knew that I can learn from this guy. So yeah, those two. And you got to mention Frank, of course. He's the man.
You said that the game's changed a lot, but defense is still a huge part of it, and that's kind of one of your calling cards, and really that defense, that outfield defense that you were part of in the late '80s and early '90s. How important do you think that is this game? With everything changing the way it is, how important is that aspect still?
Well, the way I look at it, hitting is tough. Hitting's really tough. I mean, obviously, 3 out of 10 times you do that your career, you're a Hall of Famer. 2 out of 10 times you won't make it past a couple of years. But, one thing that you have more of a control over is defense, as far as I guess have it counter for your offense. So, you know, if I struck out with a runner on third base with less than 2 outs, didn't drive men or whatever, I would tell myself, okay, hit me the ball so I can take a run from somebody else. You know, help me, you know. And that's what I thrived on, because defense, I could really, really be good all the time. When hitting wasn't really like that. Hitting, you get in slumps, you know, a pitcher could have a day, you know, and get you out. But on defense, you always had control over that.
When you run into people, how often do they bring up that home run? Is that the thing that people bring up most often?
Yeah, they bring it up a lot, and it's more of a joke now. But I know Doug Rader didn't think that much of a joke. But you know, it's a time in my career that was really special, and the fact that there's almost 50,000 people in the stands that saw it, and that I was able to be in that situation with the help of the other guys, you know, was pretty cool. So I mean, it's good to have moments like that in your career.